カタカナです。今日はカタカナを勉強します。Let's learn katakana, one of the three main scripts in Japanese writing system. In this episode, rather than going through each katakana character individually as we did with hiragana, we'll put the focus on understanding how katakana is used in the Japanese language, and also understand katakana writing rules, as well as addressing common challenges and mistakes that learners often encounter while practicing katakana writings. Let's begin by taking a look at what katakana characters look like. This is the katakana chart. It shows the same 46 characters just like hiragana. The pronunciation of katakana and its combinations are the same as those of hiragana. I will put the link to this chart in the descriptions, so please print out and then trace each one of them over and over, following the correct stroke order. So here I placed both hiragana and katakana chart side by side for you to compare. So katakana has more angular and simple style compared to more cursive and flowing hiragana. So when you write katakana characters, try to write each strokes with straighter lines. Let's see how the hiragana and katakana writing systems work together and understand why they're used. Here we have a simple sentence, "My name is Johnson." When written in only hiragana, this is how the sentence is translated. As you might have noticed, there are a lot of characters and it looks a bit overwhelming. When you write in hiragana only, it can be difficult for readers to distinguish the difference between words and particles. Because unlike English, Japanese doesn't use spaces to break up words. Each character is a single letter. You would have to either scan the sentence once before or read through it very slowly to ensure you're grouping the right letters together to read the words of the sentence correctly and smoothly. Like we talked about before, katakana is a writing form that is used when writing out non-Japanese words. In the sentence, "My name is Johnson," the word Johnson cannot be translated to a Japanese word, so we can use katakana to write out the word Johnson. When you take a look at this sentence using hiragana and katakana, we can see the difference of the katakana letters, and that signals to our brains that the breakage we see here in the writing styles indicates a word or phrase. While implementing katakana into writing is a great tool to better your reading and speaking skills in Japanese, there's a third writing system that makes sentences even easier to understand, and that is kanji. Kanji is an advanced form of Japanese writing, and we're not going to be covering it today. However, here's a sneak peek to how kanji can really help in Japanese writing to start making sentences easier to comprehend. I also explained how Japanese sentences can be written in different directions, either horizontally or vertically. The same goes for the katakana words. This one is written horizontally, following the left to right format we're familiar with in English. And then this one, the other is written vertically from top to bottom, and katakana words can be written in vertical style as well. And katakana is primarily used for words borrowed from other languages. So for instance, kohi for coffee and tenisu for tennis. So these foreign terms stand out in a text predominantly written in hiragana and kanji. Katakana is not only for foreign words. Japanese has a rich collection of onomatopoeic and mametic words, and then these are often written in katakana to highlight their expressive nature. So for example, this one, dokan, is the sound of explosion. The sound of strong wind will be described as biu-biu in katakana. And the sound that animal make and the noise machine or things make will be written in katakana. Also, just like italics in English, katakana can be used to emphasize a word or phrase in a sentence. And in modern Japanese writing, particularly in advertisement, entertainment, and media, katakana is used for stylistic purpose to attract attention or create a modern or foreign feel. And you really do want to master katakana if you want to order something delicious in a restaurant in Japan. All Italian restaurants, French restaurants, their menus are mostly written in katakana. Take a look at this menu from McDonald's. If you want to order this item, for example, you have to be able to read this katakana. Chicken McNugget 15 ピース. Or this one, Egg McMuffin セット. This one has both katakana and hiragana. The first hiragana, edamame, is soybeans, so that's a Japanese product. Corn is a foreign product, corn. You can practice handwriting by tracing the chart that I provide, but if you're typing, you can change your input from hiragana to katakana by simply pressing the F7 key. So please give it a try. All the diacritical marks rules are the same as hiragana. With 2 dots, kakikukeko will be gagigugego. And with a little circle, hahihuheho will be papipupepo. And small ya, yu, yo will be attached to those letters. And then exactly the same as hiragana. This will be kya, kyu, kyo. With the 2 dots will be gya, gyu, gyo, and so on. Duct and mark position is the same as hiragana. You have to be careful with ka. Hiragana ka has this diagonal third stroke to begin with, so you add 2 dots to make ga, which end up with 3 dots. But for katakana ka, there's no third stroke. You only need to have 2 dots to have the same ga sound. Duct and marker for H line goes the same way for katakana. Also, the hand duct and mark, little circle, goes to the same location for hiragana and katakana. Double consonants has the same rule as hiragana as well. You make it smaller size and then put it right here when you're writing horizontally. And if you're writing the word vertically, you place it just like you would in hiragana. The rule for glides is the same as hiragana. You put the smaller size ya and write it this way. and it's a one-syllable sound, sha. One good news about katakana writing is the long vowel rules. You just need to put the dash to transcribe that long vowel sound. So, boru, you don't have to write bo-o-ru. You can just use that dash mark to write it this way. You put the dash right in the center. Okay, this is when you're writing it horizontally. And this way, when you're writing it vertically, you place the dash up and down right in the center. Let's take a look some more examples. If your name has that long vowel sound, then you write your name this way. Robert, Roberto, with the dash right here. If you're writing your name vertically, it goes up and down like that. Joe, please write your name this way, like that. Sunny, write your name this way. Okay, just dash up and down, right in the center. And Lauren, you write it this way. So let's look at the chart again. There's some very similar katakana characters there. The most easily confused pair in katakana is shi and tsu. Also, so and are very challenging katakana. And beside these, I would say who and wa are also similar. And ku and ke can also be easily mistaken. So let me share with you a helpful tip on how to write the first two pairs correctly. So this is katakana shi and this is katakana tsu. When you write these katakana letters, I want you to remember hiragana shi and tsu. When you write hiragana shi, you wrote it this way, like that. So let's follow that finger motion and then write katakana shi. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Like that. 1, 2, 3. できますか? When you write katakana tsu, remember hiragana tsu first. Hiragana tsu would look like this, and you wrote it this way. So let's put katakana tsu on top of this hiragana tsu. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. できますか? So let's write it again. Katakana tsu. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. By following the hiragana shi and tsu stroke order, you can write katakana shi and tsu with the correct stroke order, and as a result, you have a better looking katakana shi and tsu. Now, these two, shi and tsu, which one is shi and which one is tsu? Can you tell me? This is shi. No, wait. This is shi and this is tsu. How about now? Tsu, shi. Tsu, no, shi and tsu. It is confusing. I'm sorry for that. Second most confusing katakana pair are so and So came from this older version of hiragana. So this first and the second stroke became this katakana so. So as if you're writing hiragana so, you start from here, one, and then second stroke up and down like that. Katakana so. Okay. Up and down and up and down. You kind of stop in the middle and let go. いいですか？いきますよ。1、2、1、2。はい。That's so. For the katakana the very tip of hiragana is right here. And towards the end, you go towards right. So this last sweep for hiragana is the second stroke of katakana So let's practice. All right. 1、2、1、2。どうですか？できますか？それじゃあ読んでください。これは何ですか？です。これがそです。はい。そ。はい。どうですか？そ。わかりますか？ Do you see the difference? Okay. This one? And this is そ。いいですね。And I'd like to get your attention to this katakana. Katakana mo. The stroke order for this katakana goes this way. 1, 2, and 3. Now, do you remember hiragana mo goes the other way around? For hiragana mo, you have to write shi first and then 2 horizontal lines. But for katakana, you start from horizontal lines and then you don't stick out at the top and you write the third stroke. I also want to get your attention to this katakana, o. So this is a particle o. So you'll probably never see this guy in a sentence because in Japanese we use hiragana for particles. And because of that, I want to put the spotlight on this character today so that it gets at least be seen by you today. The stroke order for this katakana goes like this. 1, 2, and 3. Unlike hu, which goes this way, or la, which goes this way, katakana all goes 1 and then 2 parallel and then 3 like that. You probably know my last name by now. I go by Moyo Sensei for this YouTube Japanese lessons, but my last name is Johnson and it's the hardest last name to write with katakana characters. So I want you to write my last name, get the piece of paper, and then write Johnson with katakana for me. You may pause the video until you write my name correctly. I'll wait for you. どうですか？書けましたか？ It goes like this. Did you get it correctly? If you do, I'll give you the extra credit for this course. Today we learned katakana for the first time. Do you like katakana? Well, in my next episode, we will study katakana readings, and I'll tell you something very special about katakana. So stay tuned. さよなら。今日もカタカナです。Welcome back to my second episode of Katakana, where we take a closer look at how Japanese incorporates foreign sounds that were not originally part of Japanese. We'll also examine the vibrant world of onomatopoeia, those expressive sound words that add depth to language, as well as the unique phenomenon of Japanese-made English. And to wrap things up, I will share some insights into the history of katakana. Are you ready? それでは始めましょう。When a word from English or any other language is used in Japanese, katakana helps to write it down in a way that sounds similar to the original sound. And this is done by adding an extra vowel sound. And here are the examples of transcribing those words by adding vowel sounds. To transcribe the fricative F sound, such as fa, fi, fe, fo, you write with a regular size hu and attach smaller size vowels. Remember, this combination only happens with katakana, never with hiragana. When you type these words, for F sound, you can just simply type this way. Fa for fa, Fi for fi, and Fe, fe, Fo for fo. However, when you have a word like this, fashion, fashion is fashion, where it has double consonants and glide sound together, then you have to type it this way. Fa for fa, SSHO for little 2 regular shi little yo, and double N for sound. Now, if this is hard for you to figure out, you can type L on your keyboard and then type these vowel letters to transcribe small a, I, U, E, O. それでは、カタカナの言葉を読んでください。I'll point to the word, so please read. はい、読んでください。ファッション、フィギュア、フェイク、フォント。いいですか？ And there's no T or D sound in Japanese. So when you want to transcribe T sound, you write with a regular size te and attach little I to it. If you type TI for T, then you end up having chi instead. So for T sound, you have to type it this way. TE for te and LI for little e, and you press bar for long vowel sound, and then you can convert the whole thing to katakana word by pressing F7 key. The next word is disc, and the last word is dual. And these combinations are also used to accommodate foreign sounds. I will read the katakana words. Please guess what they mean. Whiskey, whiskey. Website, website. Walking, walking. Shaker, shaker. Jet, jet. Chain, chain. Japanese language does not have a direct equivalent to the English V sound. Historically, when translating English words to Japanese, the V sound often takes form in the katakana character that represent the B sound, like ba, bi, bu, be, bo. However, there has been an introduction of a different katakana character to represent the V sound more accurately. This character is a combination of the katakana u with a diacritical mark, 2 dots, and this allows for a more accurate representation of the V sound, like va, vi, vu, be, vo. Let's take a look at some examples. And these are some word examples that are translated using the B sound. ベトナム、ビデオ、ボリューム. And over here we have some words that uses the V with 2 dots. ルイ・ヴィトン、バイオリン、ボルケーノ. The choice between using the B sound and the V sound can depend on the word and its common usage, and sometimes personal or regional preference. The B sound is still very common and widely understood, especially for older words and in contexts where the V representation has not fully caught on. Now you have all the rules in your head. Let's read some katakana words. はい、これを読んでください。Party. It means party. はい、読んでください。Cafe. Cafe. It means cafe. 読んでください。Duet. Duet. Duet. はい、読んでください。Body wash. Body wash. Body wash is similar to soap, but it is often in liquid form and is specially made for washing the body. So this word wash has little o, little tsu, and little u, so you'll have to type it this way to transcribe this word, wash. When writing words, including names in katakana, there's no strict right or wrong way to do it. This is because katakana is often used to phonetically transcribe foreign words and names into a form that Japanese people can pronounce. Many words, especially newer ones introduced to Japan, are written in katakana based on how they sound. Whomever first heard these words will decide how to write them in katakana. Halloween is a fairly new event people started to celebrate, and when they first heard this word, they didn't know whether to have this long vowel sound here as Halloween or Halloween. And some mass media wrote this event as Halloween. And then whomever saw that word didn't know where to put the pitch, whether to say Halloween or Halloween. And nowadays, I think many of the Japanese people call this event as Halloween. Brexit is the same thing. This is something new to everybody's ear, but the mass media didn't know whether to transcribe it as Brexit or Brexit or Brexit. So I think people decided on call it as Brexit. And this means when you write your name in katakana, you're essentially guiding Japanese people on how to pronounce it. Therefore, it's best to write your name in katakana in a way that closely matches its pronunciation. This helps ensure that people in Japan will pronounce your name as accurately as possible. So, Alisa, do you want to be called as Alisa or Alisa in Japan? Brandon, do you want to be called as Brandon or Branden? Sophie, Sophie or Sophie? How about Mirela? Do you want to be called as Mirela or Milera? You decide your own name how to be transcribed in katakana. Japanese have only one given name and one surname. So you start with last name and then write your first name in this order. Mr. Takashi Yamada will be Yamada Takashi. Foreign names are normally written in their native order. So if your name is John Smith, you can write John first and then your last name, Sumisu. Dot or space is often used between the first and last name. In Japanese, the English L and R sounds are perceived as the same sound. Similarly, the TH sound in English words like thank you is heard as a S sound, and the TH sound in mother is heard as a Z sound. And additionally, there's no distinction between the A sound in but and the A sound in bat. Therefore, when you hear words containing these sounds, you must determine their meanings from the context. So when I say light, light, it can mean either light or right, and leader, leader. It can be leader or reader, and bus, bus. That is either bus or bath, and close, close is close or store is closed. Katakana words are not only from English, it could be any other foreign languages. So the names of the country can be tricky. So let's try and figure out which country it means for these words. The first one, イギリス, イギリス. It's England. This one, ドイツ, ドイツ. It's a German word and it means Germany. スイス, スイス is Switzerland. オランダ, オランダ Netherlands. And ギリシャ, ギリシャ is Greece. Did you guess them all right? Japanese is very rich in onomatopoeia. It uniquely captures sounds and states through words, extending beyond mere sound imitation to express feelings, conditions, and actions. Here I will just introduce sound of some animals and nature. If someone said these words, they are definitely referring to the sound of these animals. So please guess who's making these noises. Okay, first one. Boo, 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 boo. A pig. Ka, 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 ka. A crow. Ga, ga. Okay, that's 1-1 for dogs. 1-1. Ga, 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 ga is a duck. Chun, 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 little birds. Ho, 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 ho. That's this guy. And last one. Kokekoko. Kokekoko is a rooster. These are the examples where onomatopoeia is used to express sound of nature and sound of machines. So let's take a look. First one, goro goro. Goro goro is the sound of thunder. Hue, 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 hue is the sound of wind. And para para. Para para. Para para is a light rain. How about za za? Za za is a heavy rain. Gachan. Gachan is the door being closed. And kach kach. Kach kach is a tick tick noise of the clock. Let's take a look at Japanese made English terms. Wasei-eigo, or Japanese made English, refers to words or phrases that, although sounds like English, are actually unique to Japanese and may not be understood by native English speakers in the way they are intended. Let's take a look at Japanese made English terms relates to food. I will say them in Japanese, so please guess what they mean. 1番、フライドポテト。フライドポテト。French fries。2番、シュークリーム。シュークリーム。Remember, this is all food-related items, nothing to do with your shoes. It's a cream puff. Shoe cream came from a French word, shoe à la crème, or something like that. Number 3, 3番、パン。パン。This is a Portuguese word for bread. And 4番、ホットケーキ。ホットケーキ。It's pancake. 5番、シーチキン。シーチキン。This one is hard. It is canned tuna. 6番、ピーマン。ピーマン。This is another French word for green pepper. 7番、アメリカンドッグ。アメリカンドッグ。corn dog. どうですか? I hope you can order the right item when you go to a restaurant and buy these food. Here are a few examples of Wasei-eigo based on my own experiences where I encountered difficulties in communicating my message to English speakers. So let me read them to you. 1番、コンセント。コンセント。When I moved to a new house, I was looking for consento. Where is consento? Where is consento? And nobody could help me with that. It means electrical outlet. Number 2, 2番、マンション。マンション。I said my mother lives in a mansion in Tokyo, and it means apartment building. So sure enough, she lives in mansion in Tokyo. And number 3, 3番、ベビーカー。ベビーカー。 Can you guess that one? Number 4, service. Service. In Japan, service is often used to mean something given for free or as a bonus. 5番、バイキング。バイキング。That means buffet and all you can eat restaurant. It has nothing to do with pirates. どうですか? Japanese people really like to abbreviate names of stores, titles of books and films and all that. So let's take a look at these abbreviated words and then see if you can guess what it means. So let's start from this blue category. Please read and then guess what it means. First one, 読んでください。マクド for McDonald's. Next one. スタバ for Starbucks. ケンタ for KFC or Kentucky Fried Chicken. Next one. コンビニ for convenience store. And then last one. ファミマ is for Family Mart, which is a convenience store chain that originated in Japan. いいですね。Next, let's read game-related abbreviated words. はい、これから行きましょう。Please read this one. スマブラ means Super Smash Brothers. はい、next one. ポケモン for Pocket Monsters. This one. ドラクエ is Dragon Quest. This one. So this is not a title of games, but mobile game means mobile game. And the last category is for the little devices you can find around your house. Okay. First one, 読んでください。パソコン personal computer. Next one. リモコン remote control. Next one. デジカメ digital camera. And next one. エアコン air conditioner. Today, we learn all sorts of katakana character combinations to accommodate foreign sound. And yes, we use katakana for foreign words, but the katakana character itself was invented in Heian period in the early 9th century. As you can see from this chart, Buddhist monks invented katakana by taking pieces of kanji to stand for sounds, making it easier to read and understand Chinese text. Until the end of World War II, katakana was the primary script used in official documents. And interestingly, schools then taught katakana before hiragana, which is the opposite of how you usually learned today. Please look at these two characters, the I and E under what line? They were eliminated after the war, but Japanese originally had 48 phonetic sounds, and then up to only 70 years ago, these I and E were used alongside the current I and E. My aunt said that when she first learned katakana in elementary school, she wrote her name Mitsue using this character E. She said after these two characters disappeared post-war, she changed it to the current E. Well, after talking about brief katakana history, Let me bring up a totally controversial but interesting theory called katakamuna. Now, katakamuna refers to the characters or documents used in an ultra-ancient civilization that might have existed in Japan nearly 12,000 to 40,000 years ago. And that's a long time ago. So there's no official documents to support it, but if you're interested, please look into it. Katakana characters look like this. They are represented by shapes made from combination of circles, semicircles, and lines and crosses. Japanese written vertically or horizontally, but katakana characters are written in a spiral shape and they're read from the center to outwards. And there are 80 chants like this in katakana document. Look at these characters from the katakana chart. I see some characters such as ki, sa, and ri are very similar to today's katakana. Imagine the sounds of katakana you're learning today may have been used by the people who lived over 12,000 years ago. That would make katakana take on a different meaning. There are 80 songs or chants of katakana, and this is the fifth chant. It says the fifth song talks about the basic energies of life and is known to provide energy by just chanting it aloud. Here's an interesting point. These first 5 characters represent the initial letters of the Japanese counting method from 1 to 5, like 1つ、2つ、3つ、4つ、5つ. And the 5 characters in the third line represent the initial letters of the Japanese counting method from 6 to 10. 6つ、7つ、8つ、9つと. Now you're the expert of katakana, so let's find out if we feel that energy boost by chanting this song together. Please note that this is not a coherent sentence, but rather a series of meaningful sounds strung together. The tip of reading this chant is to read it out slowly so that the sounds contained in each syllable resonate with each other. There's no melody, just read it together as I point each katakana. いいですか？はい、読みましょう。ひふみよい回りてめくるむなやことあうのすへしれかたちさき。どうですか？ Could you read the whole verse together with me? As I put this episode together, I realized how grateful I am that katakana exists in the Japanese language. Katakana helped Japan to understand foreign scripts back in Heian period, and even today we owe katakana so much, dealing with all sorts of foreign words. It is said that Japanese characters possess a spiritual power known as kotodama. If katakana has indeed existed for more than 12,000 years, I'd like to cherish the 48 phonetic sounds, including the I and E sounds that disappeared after World War II. I really enjoyed sharing katakana today, and I hope you did too. Please try leaving your name in katakana in the comments, and I'd love to meet you through your katakana name. Well, until next episode, さよなら。